Good morning, guys. I'm Mama Bear to Many. I am mom to 15, and today we are going to go on an adventure. More adventurous than we planned, but on an adventure. And so we're going to go to the aquarium. We're going to ride the T for the first time, and what an experience we had on that. And then we are going to go to the library and try to make our way back home. Come along with us.
He's sitting my shoe.
We are trying to discover the T system. So we are taking an elevator to the blue line. We shall see. I know, we're not city folks. We really don't know which button we're supposed to push. They just told us to go here. I guess so. Here. Let's go on this adventure, guys. I don't know. Are you feeling adventurous?
Yeah.
I know, it's kind of scary. It's like we're in the ground. A little nerve-wracking. There was a really nice lady. She is red, like in a red jacket, and she brought us down here. Yeah, totally got crazy. Anyway, we are waiting for a train, and it's supposed to say Bowdoin on it. So that is what we're doing. Although those ladies are moving that way, so I don't know if I should be going that way or not. I guess if not, we can always run, right? Let's see. If you want to go to Wonderland, you can go there. Here comes our train.
Okay, please.
State Street. Change here for the orange line. Bus connections. Will open on the right side of the train.
We've made it. Now we need to find the green line. Government Center. No, aren't we at Government Center? We're at the Government Center. We needed C. So we got downstairs, or on the right level of where we need to be, but didn't realize that some of them would have stairs. And so I think we figured it out when the next one comes, because we were like, oh no, there wasn't enough time for us to actually like hike up the stairs. So we are going to wait for the next train, because we noticed the front section of this other train seems to be like a ramp-ish. So at least we could lift it over without having to lift it up like a small set of stairs. Ever watched the movie The Elf? And he's in like the city, and he's like this really weirdo in the city. That's what I feel like. Do you? Let's go. Can you grab it? It's okay. Got you. Sir Henry Vane. Governor of the Colony of Massachusetts Bay. Wow, look at that. Yeah, the glass elevator is children's library. This would be the glass elevator. Push the up button. There's teen. So at the end of the video, I will explain what the heck happened.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
We are heading back on the ferry now. I have very little low battery. I will tell you this whole story when we get back. I think we decided that that would be the first and last tea experience. Do you agree?
Yes.
So I'm about ready to tell you guys, I'm editing the video and I'm about ready to tell you guys what exactly happened yesterday and our thoughts and our feelings. I don't want you to think anything like bad, or I'm sure that probably people are going to give their opinions about how maybe I handled situations, or maybe I shouldn't have done this, or maybe I shouldn't have asked, like, whatever. I want you to understand kind of like the culture that I'm seeing in the city. I think that most people are really great people. And I think that most people are very helpful people. But there is like a huge, in all areas that I have seen, there's tends to be like a huge language barrier, just with all the different cultures. And it's not just like one language or one whatever. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, I wish that I knew more languages to be able to like communicate, because I think like everyone's heart is kind of on the same thing. But when you are, say, asking for directions, or yeah, like asking for directions, or like how to get someplace or whatever, it's really difficult. You could ask a bunch of people before you actually get somebody who knows where that is, because a lot of people might just be here for a small time. Some people might just be tourists. It just really depends. And some people just can't understand what you're asking them, and or they only know what they're doing, and how to get to where their destination is. So it's just big. I think it's wonderful. It's that there's like a huge mix of people. But as far as, there's a point in here that I speak to a police officer, and I know that some people are probably going to say, well, I wouldn't have like gone up to the police officer. Some of them were like sitting around like eating and stuff. It's not like it was like they were in the middle of something. I mean, they were, but like it's not like they were like actively like chasing somebody. And I said, hey, you. And because of the situation and the people that were surrounding, I was like, oh, I feel like I should be comfortable to do that. So yeah, had I like, I could have probably gone back into the library. I was at that point, I was at the end of my rope. It was getting later in the day. I didn't want to be on the subways in the dark with a bunch of children. And yeah, so anyway, I'm sharing my story, but we can't always change the way that we do things. So yeah, I'm kind of just explaining that out as well. My, what a day, guys. What a day. Let me just tell ya. So I am recapping some of, I don't know if I'm going to put this before or after, what actually happened in all of that hoopla. Yeah. I'm even like almost feeling like I need to like detox from my day today. So let's talk about it. So basically my plan was today is I had a really good nurse, sweet nurse, that I feel very comfortable with. So I knew she would take very good care of Azariah. So I decided that I would come, and the night before some of the kids had come and my 2-year-old was very upset. She was like, Mommy, come home with me. So I really wanted to make it a point to come today, if at all possible. So I came to Ronald McDonald House today, and one of the daughters, actually 2 of the daughters, had not been to the aquarium yet, so we wanted to go to the aquarium. So we went to the aquarium. I'll probably show little tidbits. And we went to the aquarium. Then I had this idea. It keeps being brought to my attention that a T is not that bad. It's really fairly easy, and it's easier to get around because you can put a stroller onto the T, and you can like use the stroller while you're on the T or whatever, instead of having to like pack something up in order to put it into a bus. So normally when we get around, basically the only thing we know how to do is go from like on the ferry basically to one location, or we know how to take a shuttle, which is how I get back and forth, but it doesn't run on the weekends. So I was like, I would really like to know how to use the shuttle. Everyone keeps saying that it's kind of not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm just being like super silly because yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, so I'm thinking in my head, like I'm like talking myself into using the T. So I'm like, well, I know that it's kind of silly, but I am going to figure out how to use the T. So my daughter was with me, and we had, let's see, 3 younger children, and then we had an older, middle, my 15-year-old with us. We went to the aquarium, and then I was like, let's see if we can take the T over to the library. So this would require either for us to walk to get on the green line, or to take the blue line to the green line, and then the green line would be like where the library is, which is like over the other side. So I'm like, okay, it doesn't seem that hard. So we go down, and I was thinking, I thought that it was like, I knew some of them were underground and then some of them were on top of the ground, because I saw them, like the T's on top of the ground over by where we are. So I was like, okay, but it was underground. So we went to like go to the top and realized by the aquarium, and we realized that it's like a huge flight of stairs. So this guy's like, oh no, go over that side. So we're like, okay, we'll go over that side. There was an elevator, because he saw that we had the stroller. So we're like, okay, there's an elevator, perfect. So we get down there, there's like this kiosk machine, and I'm like, okay, I do not know what I am doing here. So there was a lady in red, and she's like, and it says like, ask questions or something like that on her back. And my daughter pointed it out. So I said, okay, I'm going to ask her questions. Come on.
Mom.
Okay, want to sit with me? Oh, I get this doll. Thank you. So we Gonna get up? Are you gonna get up or no?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was gonna pick you up.
And
your doll.
Baby doll.
So
I
we.
want to-
Whoa! I'm on the bed. So I'm like, okay, we can do this. So the lady in the red, she was super sweet, and she explained what, like, how to use it, how to do whatever. She actually stood right there, like, while I did what I needed to do to get tickets, and kind of explained everything. Went through the gates with us. Super nice, super sweet, awesome woman. And then it was weird because it's like, wow, this is a real subway. You'll see. I have pictures there. We got through it. After supper, we can watch a movie together and snuggle all in. So I'm like, okay, we can do this. I have clips of like just different things, kind of like have this excitement, like we're gonna do this. And so
Toast that one.
it's interesting. Yeah, this is interesting. So so we get there, and then we get to the green line, and we ride the green line, and we are getting out at exactly where we needed to be. So I was excited. I was like, oh, we made it. We did it. We're so excited. So we go to get out. And by the way, you cannot, it is really difficult to bring a stroller on and off. Like you have to like lift it over. Like you can't just drive your stroller on there. And maybe I'm doing some things wrong, but like there was a lot of times that it was like, we just had to like hike up steps, like on the thing and like lift the stroller. Thankfully it was like a smaller stroller that we were bringing, but it was really crowded as well on numerous occasions. So anyway, we get off, kind of like, oh, okay, and it's beautiful. So like Old North Church is right there, and then the Boston Library is right there. Go in, it's absolutely gorgeous. Okay, back up. I do not know why I'm telling you all of this, because something else happened first. So I was getting a little distracted. So we get off and we start walking, and I realized that there's a ton of stairs to go up from the green line. And there was this sweet woman, probably around 60-ish, and she's wearing one of those red things, and she was standing right by the elevator. So I was like, oh, we'll just use the elevator, because it was like escalator stairs and then stairs. And so they're like side by side like this. So I go to push the button for the escalator, and she kind of looks up and like smiles at me. And then all of a sudden, like 10 guys come like rushing, like barreling down the stairs, like whatever. And then there was some sort of like whatever. And then as soon as they like round the corner, this is literally probably maybe 50 feet, probably about 50 feet, like around the corner, maybe not even. So she kind of like, she must have tried to like, I like push the button again, and then she looks at me again, and then so I think that she went to try to like, try to call, I think, for backup or for help, because you could hear something like was going on, and then you heard like more of something going on, and I like put the kids on the escalator and started, because I was thinking like, I was like debating in my head, like I have kids, I have a stroller, so I put them on the escalator, and then like I'm kind of like walking up the escalator a little bit, like, and trying to whatever. So we're trying to like get up the escalator, and the lady ends up getting on the escalator behind us. The I don't know, the red lady, I don't know what they are. They belong to the transit. I don't know exactly what that is. And so then like two of the people get on the escalator behind us. Two of like the people, like the that had been running down the stairs. And I was like, okay, we're almost done. I'm like, and I had one daughter in front of me, and I was like, go right, like right as soon as whatever. And we just kind of like hop, whatever. And my heart was racing, and I was just like, oh my goodness. So we go to the library, and we're like, okay, I'm thinking in my head, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go home the same way because I don't know. It's kind of really like, there's a couple things it's really like nerve-wracking when you have children that you are in charge of keeping safe and you feel like you can't keep them safe. And so then we went to the library. It's a very gorgeous library. It really is. Yeah, it's a really gorgeous library. I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah. And there were not necessarily the friendliest people that we encountered there, but I don't want it to say like that the whole library is like that, because it's a gorgeous library and it is huge, huge, guys. I'll show you little clips of that and whatever. And I was just like I was just like, it was just, and it wasn't anything big. It was just kind of tiddly things like, you can't bring a stroller in here, or, oh, you can't have your stroller is like on the carpet. And I didn't realize like there's no signs that say like, don't put your stroller like over here. I suppose it was just supposed to be a given, or people who have been there before would understand that. It was just like the way that was approached anyway. Kind of gave me an off feeling, but it wasn't like a huge thing. I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. We can move that now. So anyway, there was a lot of homeless people that we saw in and around there. No big deal. I have a headache from the day. That was just very, very overwhelming. So I still am holding it together through this. So then we decided upstairs, I was like, let's regroup and figure out a different form of transportation to get back, like looking on Google Maps or whatever to figure out my best form of transportation to get back there. And so I'm like, okay, we'll take the yellow line to the orange, the yellow, not the yellow line, the yellow bus to the orange T, then to yellow bus. I was like, then at least we'll get out of, like, I didn't want to go back down into the same area that I was just in for the green line. So we're looking around for the yellow line, and we could see like one yellow bus. Well, we got out like a door that was like kind of around the building. So we got there, and there was a yellow bus there, but there was like police and stuff like around the yellow bus. And then we rounded the corner, and I took video of this, so you'll see there's police cars like all along like this thing, like a paddy wagon and whatever. And so I'm like walking along because I'm trying to read my Google like GPS thing or whatever, and some of the police were just like kind of standing there like chatting amongst each other. And I was like, oh, it's probably because that lady with the red lady or whatever, I think that she was maybe making a phone call or something, I'm not quite sure, regards to like the incident that I just kind of mentioned. And yeah, so I was like, maybe they're like investigating something, whatever. We're not going to do that, whatever. So there's a couple police officers that were standing there chatting, and we had already walked like to where, like, it was hard. It wasn't like, I don't know if my Google Maps wasn't registering or what was going on. It was also raining, so it can get kind of funky like that, right? So I'm like, okay, there was like two police officers just standing there. I had officers, and I'll be honest, they weren't very nice to me. Like, you could see that I'm like standing there with 5 kids, and I'm like, he's like, we're just dealing with an incident or whatever. And I said, actually, you know what? I don't want to like get into it. Basically, the yellow line was shut down. The yellow bus line was shut down because there was an armed robbery on the yellow bus line. So I'm like, how am I going to get home now? Basically, I was told that it wasn't his problem. So we're like, okay, if the green line's still open, we'll go back down there and get on the green line. So we went back down to where we came from, where stuff had happened and whatever. And we went back down there, and we got on the next green train because it looked like we could get on any of the trains and we could get back to where we needed to be. I'm sorry, my brain, I'm so like floppy with this whole story because my brain is just overwhelmed with everything that did happen. So we get on this green thing, and then I realize that I wasn't quite sure, but I was thinking that we were going in the wrong direction. So I take my phone over to somebody, and he's like, I'm sorry, I don't understand, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, thank you. And so I'm like looking around to see if I can find somebody who looks like they might like be around from around here. And let me see. What is this? Is this a shirt?
Yeah, it's a shirt.
Okay. So she's like, yeah, you're going in the wrong direction. She's like, but if you get off at the next one, I'm getting off the next one. If you get off the next one, then I'll show you how to go. So I'm so glad she did too, because it was like around the corner and up a flight and then around a corner again. So, a bunch of people said how easy it was just to jump on a T. It is not easy just to jump on a T. So we got on the right T, and it was booked solid full. So we were all standing. We're all standing on the T.
I want to tell her. I need to tell her what.
Please, can I color? I don't know. Is that your rock?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can you have it and color it?
So get on the right T.
I want
It is
this one.
so crowded. Everyone's standing like this, and we have like the stroller, and like we had to lift the stroller on up. It was like up like 4 steps. Lift the stroller on, plop them there. Everyone's like this, and then all of a sudden the thing like jerks forward. My daughter's like holding on to the thing and like slide the stroller and like slide. She's like, I'm so sorry, and like I wasn't holding on to my children. I wasn't holding on to like a pole. So I'm like, goodness. Everyone was just kind of like really smushed in there, but we made it. And then, so I'm looking at whatever, and we're supposed to like get on another T. And I was like, you know what? The other day I walked to City Hall, so I know it's not that far from the aquarium. We are off these T's and we are walking. So we walked over to the aquarium, and we saw the Christmas tree. I'll share a clip of that. And that's like near Quincy Market, Faneuil Hall. And then we walked to the ferry. We went on the ferry, and we came back here, and I am so done. I started the morning at 5 trying to do like a power pump, which is, and I'm trying like this new way. So you pump for 25 minutes, you're off for 25 minutes, you pump for 25 minutes, off for 25 minutes, then pump for 5 more minutes. So, and in all of that, I got like 3 ounces. But anyway, I tried that. So that was my day that started at 5, doing that. And then riding the shuttle here. The good news is I found out that the person who is supposed to be our overnight nurse is actually somebody who's signed on to his team and knows him really well, and I feel really comfortable with her. So I think I'm gonna stay here tonight and snuggle my children here after I take a shower. Yeah, I need a shower, regroup. Yeah. So I don't even know, and I'm kind of quite confused I think that it involved the same people because I saw some of those people being like put into the paddy wagon. So I don't know if there was like confrontation, whatever, down there, and then they went to get on the bus, or I don't really know. And you know what? It's not that I don't care, but I'm just so very thankful that we're out of there. I'm like, okay, not in Kansas anymore. Yep, not doing that for a long time. Me and my daughter are like, yeah, we're done with the tea. So, any trepidation that I had for driving in the city, I think that I might just suck it up and try to drive in the city rather than try and take public transport. Well, I'm okay with the ferry. The ferry and the shuttle are okay. I probably would still take those. They're both like, yeah, they're really nice. But that was my day today. I hope y'all have a blessed and wonderful day.